For the last 87 years, the NJCAA has provided academic and athletic opportunities to thousands of student athletes. However, several rules make it more challenging for two-year college transfers. Recently, 16 national coaches associations, led by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association, sent a request for change to NCAA leadership to make the rules the same for all transfers. We commend their leadership and stand together in support of same game, same rules.
After 23
Welcome to the 2025 NJCAA Division III National Volleyball Championship Tournament on the NJCAA Network inside the Alliant Energy Powerhouse Arena in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Court number one has already featured one team to move on into the quarterfinals. That was Butler County. Now we move up to the top half of the right side of the bracket, as it is the Hudson Valley Vikings. They are the 7th seed taking on the number 10 seed Dallas Brookhaven. I'll pretty much call them Brookhaven throughout the entire match. Presented all by Netting Pros is your stats. There you see them. Kills percent. That efficiency is going to be something that we really want to watch for today, because both teams hitting below the 200. Who can be more efficient up at the net? Digs in the back certainly will be a big priority too, because you want to stay in system. Hudson Valley comes in with a record of 25-0. They are doing the starting lineups, by the way, presented by Zurich Insurance, and I might actually be able to get you those starters. Here you go. Stay on there, right there. We'll talk about Hudson Valley and Coacher, as well as Le Couture, Lefevre, Frost, Caputo, Poutre, and Colstinen. And Dallas, their starters are Brown, Amick, Mitchell, Hickman, Tyler, and Mitchell. I'll work on those pronunciations, I promise. We'll get you going here shortly. Hudson Valley, though, undefeated on the season and in the tournament for the first time in tournament history. They won the North A District Championship, beating Monroe and Erie in straight sets. What's worked is the hitting efficiency. They are 11th best in D3, plus 4 aces per set. Balanced offense. 5 players with 140-plus kills on the year, and sophomore Gabriella Colstinen is the setter, and she'll try to work her magic to advance into the quarters. On the other side, Brookhaven, one of the most historic programs in D3. Head coach Jason Hopkins, Hall of Famer, 4 national titles, and the Bears are making their 16th appearance in the tournament. That is second most of any D3 program. This year, Brookhaven led by sophomore outside hitter Mackenzie Mitchell. 317 kills, plus 2 others with 170 or more. Sophomore Brooke Tyler is a setter. She averages close to 10 assists per set, and the Bears' hitting errors are high. That's why I said the hitting efficiency is what I'm really going to keep an eye on as the match progresses. The perennial powerhouse, the Bears, against a new face for a chance to reach the quarterfinals and battle either Minnesota West or Monroe Bronx. That match isn't even starting yet. You know why? Because they're going 5 over on the other side between DuPage and Caldwell Tech. So we're awaiting that to even get started over for Minnesota West and Monroe Bronx. Here, though, we are ready. Hudson Valley won the coin toss. They are to serve, and it will be in the hands of Colstinen, the setter for Hudson Valley, as we start. Contrasting uniforms have to do that. It's all the whites. And played off of Larson, the libero, for 2 years. Brookhaven missed the tournament last year. Hudson Valley in for the first time. LeCouture on that first attempt, and a block up front for Lefevre. And Hudson Valley leading 1-0. We'll keep track of ties throughout the entire match as well. And the second one for Colstinen. Setting this near side for Mitchell, and she is denied again. So 2 straight blocks for Hudson Valley. Two 2-0 lead for the Vikings. On that far side, this goes almost to the netting, and Brookhaven just able to free ball it. Chance to get a good attack there for Madison LeCouture. Great dig on the back there for Brookhaven. And missing. Oh, tipped. No tip on that for LeCouter. Brookhaven on the back line for that ace. I was waiting for the call and tied at 2s. Back to serve. Brooke Tyler then, the setter, 2-2 after that ace. Soft serve this time. Big swing up front, but denied for Lefevre. Overpass, and that was definitely tipped off of the Hickman attempt. DuPage has set point over that far side, or match point, I should say. Another one coming for Tyler. And a line drive serve. Caputo trying to get out of the way of it and instead hits the shoulder and a second ace. Brookhaven on the year for aces, 205. And DuPage does win over on that other side. Tyler took a lot off of that one. Too much. And Lefevre to serve. 4-3 advantage for the Bears. And that one long. Larson eyeballed it all the way to the back. Hickman on that serve, as that's why Larson came out. And a middle attack. Frost gets that. So Frost on that, and back to serve is her. Ooh, and that attack into the net. Nowhere near for Mitchell on that. Five. Back to the tie. Cross on another one. Set for Mitchell. Cameron, that is. Far side and in. Poutre took something off of that. Got all the way to the back. They had called a tip anyway, as Brookhaven left that alone, but she got it over the block. Nice hit. Ross again. That swing was a little bit off for Brown. Good pass. Hudson Valley, though, can't handle that after the second, and Brown gets the kill. And Mackenzie Mitchell will go back to serve. 317 kills. Now she is labeled as 5'6", but Coach Hopkins told me that that is on her best day. She's really a 5'5". A good setup and kill for Caputo. I like Hudson Valley's offense so far. They've been staying in system, getting touches up front, working everybody in. We talked about their balance as that service is long and sevens. Neither team getting any kind of momentum early. And back to serve will be Ramos. Seven. Ramos comes off of McPherson. Another quick one there for Caputo. And back and forth we go. Poutre on the serve. She was a third-team All-Region. Most inspiring story, as that young lady had a devastating ankle injury, able to climb back from it. As Mackenzie Mitchell not afraid to take a back set either. That one too long over on the far side for Lefevre. Had not touched, and we're tied at 8. We'll certainly talk about some of the stories that these coaches have given me throughout the tournament. Coach Hopkins and I had a phone conversation. The can ended up sending a really nice email. As I went down there to introduce myself, and she goes, "Oh, you're the one with the very long email." Yes, if you're new to this tournament, those coaches do get a very extensive email from me. Caputo on that, came to Larson. A nice quick attack. Hickman puts that one down. 9s. Hickman is 7th in blocks and in and out last year, now a full-time starter. Amick on that serve for Brookhaven. And Frost, too long on that. Kind of a feel-out process. You never know. The one team's from all the way in New York, with Hudson Valley coming from Troy, New York. The other team, Dallas, they're not going to see each other very often at all, They're really not even going to have similar opponents. And there's a block by Hickman. And Coach DeCan going to call a timeout as the Bears trying to figure things out and defensively trying to lock things down against this Hudson Valley Vikings team. So 25-0. And you see the difference then with the Bears. 15-12 for Coach Hopkins' group overall for their record. But then you look, they're at the Metro Athletic Conference. A lot of their losses are D2s and D1s, hence the reason why they get in. Even though they're a 15-12 team, they went 8-2 in the Metro Athletic. And you got to remember that the two-time defending champion is also in that conference with Eastfield, who is the number 1 seed again this year. Now for Hudson Valley, they put together a really nice showing. They went 7-0 in the Mountain Valley, playing teams like Nassau, Rhode Island, Monroe, Bronx, Finger Lakes. They have a really good quality win over Finger Lakes in this heading into the tournament. That was early on in the season, but again, that's a reminder that at least you're playing a couple of teams that have reached the tournament. Monroe Bronx is going to be playing here shortly against Minnesota West over on the other side. But sweeping Finger Lakes, and they're here at this tournament too. That was back on September 6th. Might be one of their most impressive wins on the year. And in fact, Coach DeCan called that, or DeCan called that their defining moment of the season. He said that match was when the dream of nationals became real. Now here they are. They're down 3 after another ace from Brookhaven and Amick. That set was a little off for Lefevre. Mitchell on the 2 there for, well, both teams go on the 2. It's Brookhaven that ends up. And Brooke Tyler just managed to get the kill. She has 69 coming in, so they get 70. And on the line, the back line, boy, I don't know about the dance. That was nice dance moves. I have to say that was a nice celebration there for Amick. 14-9, her second ace, as Brookhaven trying to grab the early momentum here of set 1. That was in as well. Caputo on a pretty good one. Lefevre. Larson making a good save. And man, I got to tell you that's a lot of tracking for Tyler. I realize the kill is going to go to Mitchell, and everybody's going to say, man, what a great hit. That was all done by the setter. That is a long track for Tyler to come from the far side all the way to the near. She did it. She got a good set off of it. That one climbs over the net. And that didn't get over, so you have 4 hits for the Bears. Colstinen back to serve. That was in. Larson had to take it, was moving backwards, and an ace for Colstinen. All conference. She was the conference player of the year in the Mountain Valley. First team all region as well. She has a school record for assists, 1,119. And that slide works for Hickman. That is the first time I think I have seen the middle on a slide in the first 2 matches. We never saw that. 16-11. Tyler back to serve. Another hard line drive serve. And wow, adjustments there for Mackenzie Mitchell. She comes from Allen High School, which is a perennial powerhouse. And get this, if you stay over on Brookhaven, so for Mackenzie Mitchell, she was never, ever an outside hitter when it came to the for her in high school. Coach Hopkins said he found her in club and getting points in the back row. Always told she was too short. She's now excelling in big power, control, and vocal. And Brookhaven has a lead of 17-11, and so now you flip over and start talking about the Vikings in Hudson Valley. How do you respond here? Down by 6. You've already taken both timeouts, did DeCan. And so you got to look back to getting back in system. Some of these sets have just been a little bit off. The serve receive a little off too. If you're not able to get that nice clean pass up front, you're not going to get those clean looks. And right now in the match for Hudson Valley, hitting at 0. 4 kills, 4 errors. Got to be better, but it comes down to this serve receive. That was a nice clean one. But then the quick attack, Frost going on that. It was there as far as the set. In fact, it was a nice line drive set right at the net. Don't know if it even climbed over, though. Tyler to serve once again. And there you go. The clean look. You get Frost on that. Gets the kill. And a much-needed side out for Hudson Valley. And the Vikings out of timeouts. The fever on that. Came to Amick. And a line shot for Holland Hickman. Brookhaven hitting .278, 8 kills, 3 errors. Hickman to serve. That gives Larson a breather. Oh my, what a save that was by Colstinen. And another one. Can be played, yep. Coffee got it over. Another line shot towards the back corner. Oh, but this one, yep. The pass for Coffee. Not much Poutre could do on that. Hickman serving at 20-12. Advantage Bears. Kucher on that. So Kucher on that kill. Dynamic all-around player, court awareness and versatility, Coach DeCan said. They need more of that. Gotta give her some swings. Subbed in McPherson on that serve. The roll shot up front by Cameron Mitchell. Poutre off the block. She waited a while too, and her shoulders weren't square to the net. Not really able to look at the block itself, but yet at the same time adjusted nicely. Hudson Valley got to put something together though. And they might with another ace, or Larson saving that. Wow, she did. Tyler put it over. Oh, that set for LeCouture behind her. Back to serve is Mackenzie Mitchell. 21-14. Boy, she tried to put some spin on that, and she did. Another great hustle play by LeCouture to even try to get to it before it hits the carpet. I will say that all this area is live then. The only thing is with the netting in between the two courts, if the ball were to hit the net, it is out. That's the end of it. But you can move the net, but you can't have help moving it. Nice setup and set there by Colstinen. Caputo, pardon me, on that. Jocelyn gets that kill. She was the region tournament MVP. Multiple New York State Championship appearances in high school, coming from a really solid school in Syracuse, New York. I don't think it said which school it was online, but just going by the city it lives in. Oh, an overpass. Oh, no, we got Hudson Valley in the net. (23-15). Was a couple of ties, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. Bears kind of went on a run after that, settled down. Another tough serve, handled by McPherson. Shot too long for LeCouture. And set point. Coming from Ramos, 24-15. Colston and nothing she could do on that. And the line shot in over on that far side by Cameron Mitchell, 25-15. Brookhaven hits over 300 in that first set, and they win it by 10 here in our first round matchup. Winner of this takes on either Minnesota West or Monroe Bronx. It's Brookhaven that has the 1-0 lead. And you are watching the NJCAA Division III Volleyball Championship on the NJCAA Network.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the National Junior College Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
My name is Riley Clark. I'm the athletic director at the Weber School in Sandy Springs. Our gym was just built this past year. It's a brand new facility and we were in need of new scoreboards. We were looking for good quality of scoreboard, ease of use with the iPads and the ability to post anything we want on that, the great warranty that it has and the ability to work with a company so easily. Those were really things we were looking for and we found all of that with digital scoreboards.
Like feeling loose and ready as Brookhaven during that timeout they're playing Cotton Eye Joe over the loudspeakers and the Brookhaven Bears were dancing. Well, they have a reason to dance. They won that first set 25-15 and they are staying loose, are the Bears. Hudson Valley has to recover and recoup as Coach DeCan took those early 2 timeouts. Her second timeout, this was only a 3-point match when she called that second timeout. I believe it was 14-11. And Brookhaven goes on an 11-4 run to close out that first set. And a lot of it had to do with the hitting. 333 for Brookhaven, just .040 for Hudson Valley, and there you see it. Our stats all brought to you and presented by the U.S. Air Force. 11 kills to 8, but it's the efficiency of those 11 to the 8. The digs 9 to 8. Hudson Valley had more, but then again, the serving aces too, having receiving problems plus 7 hitting errors in that first set really led to a disappointing first set for Hudson Valley. 25-15 Brookhaven. And so for Hudson Valley, let's go through the individuals real quickly. Caputo with 3, and she was 3 for 3 on her hits, was number 12. So she was efficient. Frost, though, 2 kills, 2 errors, zeros. Poutre, 667. She had 2 kills on 3 attacks. LeCouture, 1 kill, 3 errors, and hit into the negative. So did Lefevre in that first set. Hickman was on fire, 4 of 5, 4 kills on 5 attacks for 800. And then Amick was also a perfect 2 for 2. You saw Coach DeCan there for a moment. She is in her 5th season. Come in as the 7th seed. That I came into the role 4 years ago with the plan of building something sustainable and competitive at Hudson Valley, and I'm really proud how far we've come. He said they started their record 7-17 in 2022, made a leap the next year 13-12 and a winning record, and went 15-8 last year, now undefeated and making the national tournament. But they got to overcome because they're down 1-0. Mary Amick. Or pardon me, Amick. And that is a nice quick attack by Frost, and she gets that. That's a good start. Hudson Valley needs a good start and build off of it. But then you go right to the serving error. That was off of Lefevre. Played off of Caputo on the receive. Poutre down for the line shot. Overpass right back up to the front. Taking care of Frost on that. And a 2-1 advantage for Hudson Valley. Played off Larson. Free ball by Brookhaven. Didn't see too many of those in that first set. LeCouture on that. 3-1. Heads up play by LeCouture too. This time shoulder square, everything's lined up. She sees the block, plays it off of that, but takes a lot of power off to make sure it just hits fingertips. Falls to the pink and black court. And my goodness, though, that was a hard hit by Mackenzie Mitchell. Mitchell with 4, Hickman to serve. Back in that back row is McPherson to play back. He got 130 digs on the year. Ultimate utility player. Just fills every role is what Coach DeCan said. And that attack goes into the net. I like the quick sets where Cole Stinnen is setting. A lot of that is the middle where the ball just climbs over the net and you get it across. The timing of that has to be perfect. And it was a little off on that. So is that serve for Brookhaven. And Hickman, he's laughing it off. Back to serve. LeCouture. Short serve. Larson had to go way up to get that. That set hung in the air forever. A great dive by McPherson. Poutre. Oh, a matrix move on the back line for Amick to get out of the way. Mitchell to serve. Tied at 4s here in set 2. Poutre going to get an attack and got it. Been impressed with Brooke Poutre. As I said, the most inspiring story, the heart of the team is what Coach DeCan said. He said devastating ankle dislocation last year that could have ended her career. Her return embodies toughness and resiliency. She'll get a little tough on that serve off the net, and an ace for Poutre. Called the heart of the team. I know a little bit about ankle injuries. I broke my right ankle and had to have surgery, but it never dislocated. I can't imagine what that was like, as that's up and out. Mine was a clean break, and I just had to have surgery, 2 screws and a plate put in, and I was back on my feet without anything in 12 weeks. But a dislocation, oh my goodness. Happy to see that young lady back and able to compete. That is, oh, I don't know, that might have been long. Played by McPherson, and the overpass taken care of quickly by Tyler. This is similar to what set 1 felt like. You know, the feel-out process, as Ramos on that serve nearly died up. The fever hammers that. Mitchell on this. Taking a lot off, did Amick on that. Back set for McKenzie, and it along. The high school team that I covered this year up in La Crosse, Wisconsin, did not use those back sets very often. They didn't really have anybody that could really spin it well enough. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I do like them when you have somebody that's more efficient with it and can put the spin on, as that slide there for Cameron Mitchell does not go down. Tipped across by Lefevre. And Mitchell misses. All right, we talk about the hitting errors for Brookhaven. They were fairly clean in that first set. Just 3 kills, 11 kills, 3 errors. Here right now hitting zeros. They do have a high amount of errors coming into the tournament. They were top 5 in hitting errors. And Mitchell spinning that off and out of bounds. So you go a couple of times to the back line on that back set attack. This is a 3-point run for Hudson Valley. Cross back to serve. And that pass led Tyler to set it. And then Amick battle at the net. She wins. Felt like that was kind of a needed win for Brookhaven up front, as momentum starting to swing to Hudson Valley. See some Finger Lakers fans walking in front of us. They're over on court number 2. In case you were wondering, Hudson Valley. I know a lot of these East Coast teams like to watch each other, as Amick tooled that off the block, but it was saved up. Another back set for Mitchell. Ross couldn't put it down. Amick gets another chance off the block and went sideways. LeCouture could not play that very well. Couldn't get it back towards the middle and set the offense up. So Amick on that, her second. Cameron Mitchell to serve. And a block that stays in off the attempt by Frost. Hickman up front. Amick. And Tyler has quite a few of them too, 33 blocks on the year for her. And that sideways, and we're tied back at 9s. Or pardon me, 10. That gives the Bears the lead for Cameron Mitchell and her ace. Shared time, but now she took over the middle 2. More comfortable as the season progressed. Coach Hopkins said about his middle there, Cameron Mitchell, he's been eyeing her since she was 11 because she played in the same club that he leads. And so saw her in club ball. And he goes, it's kind of funny to have her now because, like, the first time I met her, she was just this, young kid. And they're still young, especially at my age. A good snap there for Lefevre. Brings pure excitement. Her kills ignite momentum. Vikings see their lead dwindle and evaporate completely as Brookhaven up 11-10. Cole Stinnen. Tyler two, yep. Could see that. Came to Cole Stinnen and it got so low for her that the ball, if you could kind of notice, the ball went almost into her hands and she nearly caught it, then put it up. That's why she gets called for the two-touch. Amick back to serve. Rotation, a sixth rotation player. She played middle last year. And that hit for Frost is way off. As the Bears lead by 3. Amick, a total team player, emotional roller coaster, but will do whatever. That's what Coach Hopkins said. I'm just quoting the coach. That overpass on that set, and Tyler hit the. Oh, I thought Tyler was into the net. They called Hudson Valley into the net, and that's another point for Brookhaven to put their lead at 14-10. I thought for sure that was on Tyler on her swing. They must have saw that Hudson Valley had touched it first. And so the Bears coming in, as we said, a perennial powerhouse. I did ask Coach Hopkins about maybe the most significant win, and he went back. You know, this team took a set off of Eastfield, and then they lost to Eastfield in a sweep. They lost to them 3 times on the year, but he said that he goes, it won't make a lot of sense, but we played Richfield at home, and it took 5 sets. Then when we played them at their place, we swept them. There was some growth and maturity for us. It was good to give more respect to our opponent. It's never easy, and hopefully that will help us in the tournament. I think what he's saying on that is don't look at the record so much as, and don't take an opponent lightly. Maybe some of his kids thought, oh, well, this will be an easy cakewalk win, 3-0, and we'll go home. You know, that's huge. You battle a team that you think you're superior to, and they push you to the limit. Makes you rethink how you handle practices, how you handle just situations in general. And so a little eye-opener there for Brookhaven. That last kill was by Lefevre. And then Poutre with this one. Coffee back to serve. Hudson Valley at 105 in this set. 7 kills, 5 errors. Brookhaven at 6-3. Serving error. Never a good time for it, but an inopportune time because it seemed like Hudson Valley was starting to get back into their system. 25-15 was the first set. Tyler serving. That was nearly an overpass and ended up getting Cole Stinnen at the net. And Brooke Tyler, 3rd in assists, 7th in assists per set. Did run a 6-2 last year, did the Bears, so 2 different setters. This year, just the 5-1. She'll never leave the floor. That was way off as well. Cole Stinnen's trying to set up the middle, and her set goes awry for Frost anyway. And Hudson Valley, a little discombobulated. Coach DeCan already took a timeout. Remember, she took a timeout earlier today too, or earlier in this set, so does have 1 left. That one off the block for Poutre. Mitchell blocked up front. Huge denial by Frost. All region honorable mention. Exceptional blocker with remarkable hang time. And she got a big one there. Hudson Valley, though, this cannot be a quick side out. McPherson back to serve. This needs to be 3 at the service line, at least 2. And it won't be because of the quick attack by Brown. She has shared time with Jalen Holmes. Still finding her offensive rhythm. She can touch the rim, is what Coach Hopkins said. That's her leaping ability. She can get all the way up. Boutre, this is off the court for her hit. Came to Mitchell all the way on the far side. They go back to Mitchell. Coffee on a nice pass. Set things up, and LeCouture with the kill. And you can't go 1-1, though. These quick side outs back and forth. Hudson Valley down 4. Really need a solid run from somebody at the service line. LeCouture and her 57 aces. And got one there, right in front of Mitchell. Latham, New York is where Madison LeCouture's from. She's a right side freshman. That's the other thing. This is not a deep group of sophomores for Hudson Valley. So not only is DeCan setting things up, but she's got a nice, bright future ahead of her for next year as well. Cameron Mitchell, she's the sophomore. She gets that last kill. Boutre, long, touched or no? No touch, they say. Did see one challenge. These coaches do have a couple of challenges in their back pocket if they wish to choose. Mitchell serving, 5-point lead. Short serve. Brown trying to hit that. Set far side. Amick into the middle. Good up. Back set. And that pass from Larson goes sideways. LeCouture on the back set. Oh, we've seen Brookhaven going to that with Mitchell. Boutre. That pass didn't get much on it. Brown at the 10-foot line. Oh, that pass for Hudson Valley. Not able to get a swing. And Cameron Mitchell takes something off and over the block. Smart, heady play. Boutre, that's a lot of area for her to cover. Was trying to come up as quick as possible, but of course she's thinking, here comes the heavy hit. I got to play it off the block. Cameron Mitchell throws in the changeup. And Coach DeCan calling her timeout. That's her second, 21-16. And over on that far side, then it is Minnesota West and Monroe Bronx. They are just in their first set. Looks like Minnesota West is leading 13-10. As that is the 2-15 matchup. This is the 7-10. Hudson Valley is the 7 seed. Brookhaven the 10. Brookhaven one of the wild cards. The at-large bid as they lost their district championship to Eastfield. Missed the tournament a year ago. 2 years ago, they were also a at-large bid. And Ramos with an ace following the timeout from DeCan. That's not what you want. Ramos again. Set and long, though, for Lefevre. These passes, this serve receive for Hudson Valley is not necessarily bad passes either. There is situations where you could get good hits. That's another one for Lefevre, just not on top of the ball. Another tough serve and another ace for Ramos. Ramos just 31 aces coming into the tournament, getting a couple here. But you look, I mean, again, 9 kills, 7 errors for Hudson Valley. It's just not there offensively right now. Tipped up and over by Caputo. Back set for Mitchell. She's missed a lot of those. Coffee was ready. Lefevre, that was back towards the middle of the floor. Amick blocked. She's trying to jump at that 10-foot line. That's a tough area. Not able to really look at the block either, just had to hit it. No, that's the other thing. Hudson Valley, the strong serving without the errors. I mean, 315 aces coming in, only 149 errors, and yet today they've had 5 errors and only 3 aces. Brookhaven is putting on them. That is out. Nice job by the official down here. You just saw the flag waved in the bottom right corner of your screen. I love that the official came over to glance at that tip by Cameron Mitchell. Made sure to completely see it the whole way. It was out. And Amick puts home the set point for Brookhaven, and they have a commanding 2-0 lead. 25-18 is the score in set 2. And we've had 9 ties in the match, but it was 9-9 was the last tie in set 2. 9-9 was also the last tie in set 1 before Brookhaven won 25-15. Brookhaven Bears leading by 2 here in the first round of the NJCAA Division III Volleyball Championship on the NJCAA Network.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
After 23 seasons as a professional playing and working in baseball, leadership in sports are things I deal with every day. I feel like I have my master's in baseball field experience, but I wanted the formal degree to go along with it. I needed something flexible with my schedule, and I wanted a school that shared my faith and values. That's why ACU's Master's in Sports Leadership was the right fit for me.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
25-18 was the score in set 2. As there you see it on your screen, Brookhaven leading then 2-0 as we enter the third. And I should probably let you know about a couple of things that we've got going on. You can follow all the action of the 2025 NJCAA Volleyball Championships live right here on the NJCAA Network. Go to njcaa.org/network to view live and archive video of each game. All these games are on here. We'll have the D3 tournament going on now. Next week is the D2, right back here in this same facility. D3 also coming up. I know there's soccer championships that are happening soon too. So everything happening for here on the NJCAA Network. Division 1, the championship is on ESPN+. But otherwise, all these matches happening on the NJCAA Network. There you see the numbers. 22 kills for Brookhaven, 17 for Hudson Valley. That is a total from the first 2 sets. The hitting percentage, again, Brookhaven being much more efficient, 241 to 058. And those serving aces, Hudson Valley coming in with a ton of aces on the year and not a lot of errors. I said they had 149 errors serving-wise, 315 in aces, and they're here today, 5 errors, 3 aces. They've got to clean up the serving service line for the Vikings. Brookhaven hit even better in that first set, so their offense dwindled a little bit, but 11 kills in each set. 11 kills in 1, 11 kills in 2. Hudson Valley, total of 17, 8 and 9. Individually, it's Amick and Hickman at 5 each, and then LaCouture, Frost, and Poutre all with 4. for Hudson Valley. Got to get off to a good start. Colston, a deep serve. Mitchell was blocked. She gets another chance. Missed it. Tried at the 10-foot line. Didn't really have steps. She just hit it over. Went to go after it, and it was out. 9 total ties in the match. 5 in the first set. 4 more in set 2, but all of them have occurred within the single-digit realm. So nothing after 9-9 has been a tie. Brookhaven has been in control. They called that was blocked. Colston to the back. Larson takes. And down on the back corner for Hickman, who I thought was quiet in the second set and made her mark in that first set for sure. Tyler back to serve, the center, and that had some wicked spin on it. I give credit to LeCouture just to even get that back up toward the front. And then the set, all kinds of discombobulation over that far side for Parr, who Coach Hopkins went to, the sophomore. Just 33 kills on the year. Switching up his lineup a little bit. And an ace. And O'Leary, who did not play those first 2 sets, comes in and gets an ace for Hudson Valley. O'Leary, there really isn't a lot of stats on O'Leary. I did not write much down for her because she has not played too many matches, but she does do that. She will come in and serve. Kind of a serving specialist. She's subbed out. Back in is Coffey to play the back line. It's Hickman that's serving for Brookhaven. 3-2 the score. Off the block. LeCouture. And back the service. Frost. That long. Saw it right off of her hand. Mitchell serving. Played off of McPherson. Boutre well away from the net. Still got it over. And my goodness, Holmes, Jalen Holmes makes her presence known up at the net. 4-4 the tie. That was a hard hit. Great snap. And an overpass taken by Parr, who is the lefty. And the dig goes up and out. Things are very interesting over on that far side. Short serve, look out for Mitchell. Colston, who was trying to hide out, ended up having to hit that right at the net. But Parr's too long on that. And 5s. So Coach Hopkins not afraid to change things up even after how well things were going in those first 2 sets. Back set for Mitchell. Coffey, that was a pretty good pass. You can't ask for much more on that. Boutre trying to put it down. Tyler tracking forever. Holmes across the way. Coffey this time goes backwards. The reason why I say things are getting interesting over on the far side because it's 24-21. The last time I looked, it was 19s, as now Minnesota West has a 3-point lead over Monroe Bronx. But that's what's happening over on that far side. Ramos on the short serve. Boutre at the 10-foot line. Ramos, good pass. Hard hit by Holmes. And a block. That 10-foot line is so tough. You got Holmes up there along with Mitchell. And you know you want to tool it off of it, but at the same time, when blockers are able to close their hands, they're watching you, and you're at the 10-foot line and kind of at their mercy. Tyler will set Holmes again. Took something off. Poutre. That block, maybe out of bounds. No, Coffee saved it, and she brings it across to Larson, the other libero. And Mitchell, Cameron Mitchell takes. And for Brookhaven, a slow start in set 3, and they have come alive here after it was tied 5-5. Little mini run here for Ramos at the service line, nearly an ace. And again, a block up front as Caputo brought her right to the net. Not only that, but then her jump is taking her down as she's trying to hit it up into it. Much better pass this time. And see, you get a clean kill out of it with Caputo. But you go back to that serve receive. This time McPherson gave a great pass. You're able to set up your middle. The middle's not at the 10-foot line. They're up at the net, able to smack that as hard as you possibly can and get it down. Vikings just have not had enough of those in system as, oh my goodness, look out. Tyler all the way into the netting. Poutre on the ace. That's her second. Team's 5th, but 7 serving errors. They're still in that negative. Poutre, long. Well, you get one, then you give one. That's usually how it goes with serves. Cameron Mitchell back to serve. That block off the antenna and come back over to Hudson Valley. We'll have a substitution as Frost comes back to the front. Now she'll play for McPherson. Back to serve his Caputo. Jocelyn. That winning mindset. Got to put something together here for Hudson Valley. And Hickman. Brookhaven is really showcasing all their hitters. I mean, everybody's getting involved. There are 28 kills total. 6 and 3 here in this set. 6 kills, 3 aces. Or pardon me, 3 errors. Excuse me. Coffee had to play that. Larson getting to that. Mitchell brings it closer to the net, and then Hickman got it over. Far side, the block was late. Mitchell cannot pancake. Still only a single. We have yet to have a double stack here on court number 1. We got a pancake earlier in that first match. Still only one. 11-9. Hudson Valley down by 2. Cole Stinnen. Far side, that was close. As Mitchell flies up. Holmes in that back line. I thought maybe that was out, but on the serve, but she played it. Tyler to serve for Brookhaven. Stinnen setting. I like the set up on that. Just the timing not there for her and Frost. That looks like it's going to be a set for LeCouture up at the front, and instead it skips over her and goes over to Frost. But again, the timing not quite there. And a short serve, very short serve by Tyler. Tyler was the one to hit that first as well. Mitchell, Coffee, good pass, far side. LeCouture to the back. Holmes flies around. There's Tyler. And Mitchell, yeah, that's around and out of bounds. Well, the set took her so far off the court. You may wonder why in the world do we have a pink and black court. This is actually from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. here in Iowa. This court goes down to Iowa City. It's actually Coralville, but whatever. You're familiar with Iowa City, likely anyway. You've probably heard of that town because that's where the Hawkeyes are. They have a new facility for volleyball, and that's where the high school state tournament takes place. That court then comes up here, and so the Alliant Energy Powerhouse can have it for the NJCAA. Division 3 this week, Division 2 next week. Be the same court that you see coming up next week as well. It's Hickman to serve. Holstenin. Adjustment, LeCouture. 14-11. Minnesota West did hang on over there and won 28-22. Wait, no, that's not right. 25-22. I don't know why I said 28. 25-22. Minnesota West won that first set over Monroe. This is an overpass, and Poutre will take care of it. That's what you do with those overpasses. The Bears scrambling defensive-wise. Get a good hit and a quick kill. That's what you're looking for if you're Hudson Valley. They need more of it. McPherson on the serve. Played off of Mitchell. As Cameron Mitchell, the middle. And it's Mackenzie Mitchell that serves. They are not sisters, by the way. They're no relation on that whatsoever. And there's an overpass. So you saw one for Hudson Valley. Parr just about dented the court on that overpass. And Coach DeCan calling her first time out. Parr did not even play in those first two sets. Comes in, so did Holmes. And Brookhaven has a 4-point lead. You are watching the NJCAA Network presented by Zurich American Insurance Company, the official provider of student-athlete insurance for the NJCAA. Zurich helps athletes get back on the field or court after an injury. Learn more at zurichna.com. And then you can order your official 2025 NJCAA Division III Volleyball Championship merchandise online at the NJCAA store. You can visit shop.njcaa.com to view exclusive national championship merchandise. Teams here want to put their championship, get their name on that championship merchandise. Trying to do that here in Cedar Rapids for the final year of the D3 that'll be in this spot. That'll move to DuPage next year. As adjustment, Caputo gets that kill. Again, her whole entire body is facing over to court 2, which has Minnesota West leading 1-0, and they're up 5-1 on Monroe Bronx. Here, 25-15, 25-18. Brookhaven winning the first two sets. They're up 3 here in set 3, 16-13. And another middle swing and kill for Cameron Mitchell. And LeCouture on the year has 157 digs. So, I mean, you're not going after a player that's only got a couple. Ramos to serve again. Poutre off the block. She has played a very nice match and efficient. Poutre, that is her. I'm trying to see if it is her 6. It is. LeCouture, Caputo, and Poutre all at 6. Caputo has the highest hitting efficiency at 444. Well, the timing of that, there's no one there. That looked like maybe a slide set up for Mitchell. And the setter, Brooke Tyler, was not looking for that. Got it again, and that will be the slide, and it will work for Cameron Mitchell. By the way, Brooke Tyler, Coach Hopkins called her a baller, said her parents are both volleyball coaches and own their own volleyball club. She's lived in the gym, started as a setter her senior year in high school, high IQ and understands the flow of the game. It's kind of like having a coach out there on the court. When you've got somebody that's been in volleyball for that long, I totally understand. Missing the tournament last year was Brookhaven. That last year was hit and miss, but returned 8 freshmen, added 3 more. An experienced group. That's why I said this Brookhaven team, even though they weren't here last year, as that's 2 times for Holmes, the second one goes down. Different story for Hudson Valley, making their first appearance. Just seems like anytime they had a little bit of momentum for the Vikings, it evaporated quickly. Holmes on a hard serve. Coffee got a receive out of it, but not really a good attempt for a kill. Mitchell, that is not touched, and 4 hits for the Bears. You know, Hudson Valley captured its first Mountain Valley Conference title since 1995 and their first Region 3 championship, their first trip to the tournament. And Mitchell hits that one down in front of the 10-foot line. Also got lots of teammates, Frost, Colstinen, and Poutre, all playing at Saratoga Springs High School. So that's probably where you get some of that chemistry when you played in high school and then come back out in the junior college level. Lefevre. Hudson Valley only down 2. 18-20. And here comes O'Leary. O'Leary is labeled as a setter and DS, so she can do a little bit of everything too. Already had an ace the last time. And Tyler saved that before it hit the floor. Colstinen sets. LeCoutre goes across the way. Mitchell off the block. Definitely got the tip. 21-18. And so you get the double change with O'Leary coming in, then Coffee subs back for Lefevre in the back row. Hickman is serving. Bears need 4. Into the net, though. Leave the door open for Hudson Valley. And they get a couple of serves here by Frost. (21-19). Larson on the receive. Go back to that lefty swing of Parr. Saved up off the double block then. And Poutre. Not going away are the Vikings this undefeated season, 25-0. Down 2-0. And Brookhaven will call a timeout. Up by 1, 21-20. First 2 sets, 25-15, 25-18 for the Bears. Coach DeCann and company. She said her keys were just remember what got us here and who got us here. I think that's the right attitude too. You know, these tournaments are tough. I don't know how much film and whatnot that they're doing scouting-wise. I think it's mainly you get a lot of that coaching on the fly between the two teams, and you know your system. You know exactly what you're looking for. I mean, both these teams have had well over 25 matches apiece. You should know what you're wanting to run, what you're looking for offensively. Yes, you're always making simple adjustments on the fly, but that's why I think those first couple of sets, it took Hudson Valley a little time to adjust. They've played a much better third. Mitchell, Coffee there. Oh, that setup was a little off, but still managed for Hudson Valley. Mitchell, need one, got one from their heaviest hitter, Mackenzie Mitchell. She is a little spitfire at just 5'5", 5'6", labeled at 5'6", but we know that every volleyball coach, they always lie just a little bit on those heights. Mitchell into the net, though. And again, Hudson Valley. LeCouture. LeCouture back to serve. Teams right now, still 5 aces and 8 errors for Hudson Valley. Just got to hang in there, but Cameron Mitchell, the Bears staying in system. 23-21. They have really utilized their middles nicely. 39 kills for Brookhaven. Their highest of the year was 68 against Independence. Ramos served. She had a little mini run of her own earlier on. Boutre saves before it got into the netting. Up and over by McPherson. Cameron Mitchell off the net. That was saved up, and a pancake by Colstinen. Now we got 2 over on this court. Holmes, though, jumps out of the powerhouse arena and brings that one down to match point for Brookhaven. 24-21. The 40th kill, hitting .278 on 31 assists. Ramos will serve. There's the whistle. McPherson. Oh, Boutre, though. Well, she got it over. The block was late. Can be saved, though. LeCouture found it. Coffey brought it over. Larson, her dig is way down. And Tyler tried to set Holmes, and that did not work. So 24-22, Hudson Valley fighting off 1. Can they fight off a second? Boutre serving. The heart of the team is on her shoulders, and an ace off the net. 23-24. Coach Hopkins does have another timeout if he chooses to use it. Wow, he went with, well, I was going to say, Ramos left the area in the back. I couldn't believe that he'd go with 2 in the back for a serve receive. Match point number 2. Boutre over to Ramos. Tyler sets Mitchell. It was blocked. Holmes. Another great dig for Hudson Valley for McPherson. The back set, though, off the mark for LeCouture, and that is it. Into the net, 25-23, and Brookhaven will advance. Total ties 12 in the match. We'll run through some team stats here quickly. 25-15, 25-18, 25-23, and Brookhaven advances. The Bears hit 40 kills on 16 errors for a hitting percentage of .255. That is way above their season average as well. Although I don't think it's their best that they had all season long. That was at .487. 8 aces, 33 digs, 5 total blocks, and individually Hickman and Mitchell come away with 8 kills apiece. That would be Cameron Mitchell. Mackenzie Mitchell had 7, and Amick with 5. Setter Tyler had 26 assists, and the top digger was Larson at 11. On the other side for Hudson Valley, 27 kills, 18 errors for a hitting percentage of .108. They had their first loss on the season. They are now 25-1. They had 25 assists, 32 digs, and 6 aces, but those 8 errors really hurt them, and the 3 blocks. Individually, Boutre 7, LeCouture 6, and Caputo 6. Caputo had a nice night hitting-wise, 364. 3 aces for Boutre as well. And the top digger was Coffey with 13, 23 assists for Colstinen. So Brookhaven moves on, and they will play in the quarterfinals, and they'll play either Minnesota West or Monroe Bronx. Looks like Minnesota West has figured things out as they lead over there 18-7, and they won their first set as well. We thank you very much for being with us. We have another matchup coming up shortly. It'll be the number 1 seed, Eastfield, so we'll have another Dallas school coming out here shortly, and they'll play Holyoke. You've been watching the NJCAA Division III Volleyball Championship. This is the first round on the NJCAA Network.
Hey, Coach. Looks like the thunderstorm's rolling in. Are we good for the night?
Our weather app says we're going to be just fine. Focus on the game.
My knees are aching. Storms are brewing.
Facebook says a tornado just touched down.
Harry weather detected a lightning strike 7.2 miles out. We gotta call it.
Like the call.
Attention, the game has been delayed for lightning.
Knew it.
Make the call with confidence.